Listen to me. Every time you hit snooze, every time you say, I'll do it tomorrow, every time you let comfort win, you are killing your dream one small decision at a time. Champions are not made when it's easy. They're made when it's hard, when it hurts, when nobody's watching and you still show up. I'm Tony Robbins, and I'm here to tell you the secret to greatness is not talent. It's not luck. It's the relentless decision that there are no do-I's. OF consistency beats intensity, because life is not about what you do once. It's about what you do repeatedly. Anyone can get fired up for a day, a week, maybe even a month, but the people who transform their lives are the ones who show up daily, no matter how they feel. Think about it. Brushing your teeth one time with passion doesn't give you healthy teeth, but brushing them every day does. The same goes for your business, your relationships, your health, your growth. Consistency creates trust. It builds credibility. It compounds results. When you commit to showing up every day, even in small ways, you're training your nervous system to follow through. That builds certainty, and certainty builds momentum. Momentum is the invisible force that carries you through the tough days when you'd rather quit. Intensity feels good in the moment, but it fades. Consistency builds identity. You begin to see yourself as the person who always keeps going, and that identity fuels everything else. The truth is, greatness is boring. It's doing the right things over and over again until the world calls it extraordinary. Discipline over motivation is the difference between amateurs and champions. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like the weather. You can't rely on a feeling to build the life of your dreams. Discipline, on the other hand, is a muscle. It's built every time you do what you said you'd do long after the mood you set it in has left you. Discipline means you take control of your body, your mind, your emotions, instead of letting them control you. It's saying, I don't care how I feel, I show up. That level of commitment creates freedom, because when you are disciplined, you're no longer a slave to impulse, distraction, or laziness. Discipline builds self-respect, because every time you keep your word to yourself, you grow stronger inside. And when you respect yourself, others follow. Motivation might get you started, but discipline keeps you going when everything in you wants to stop. Discipline is the bridge between intention and achievement. It's not glamorous, but it's powerful. Winners don't wait to feel like it, they decide. And that decision, practiced daily, is what separates those who dream from those who actually live their dreams. Your standards shape your destiny, because you don't get what you want in life, you get what you tolerate. If you set low standards, you'll accept mediocrity. You'll settle for less. You'll keep making excuses why things aren't changing. But when you raise your standards, when you say, this is no longer acceptable, I demand more of myself, everything shifts. Standards are not goals. They're not wishes. They're the minimum level you're willing to live at. And when you raise that minimum, your entire psychology changes. You stop negotiating with your excuses. You stop buying into the story that you can't. Your standards pull you forward, because they create a new identity, a standard of excellence, of discipline, of relentless follow-through. People don't rise to their goals, they fall to their standards. You want a better body? Raise your standards for what you eat and how you train. You want more income? Raise your standards for what you'll accept in terms of effort and value you create. Your life is a reflection of the standards you've decided to settle at. The moment you raise them, you don't need to push. You're pulled, because anything less feels unbearable. Massive action beats perfect planning every single time. Too many people wait for the stars to align, the perfect strategy, the right timing, and that waiting becomes a lifetime excuse. The truth is, clarity comes through action, not before it. You can't think your way to certainty. You've got to act your way there. Take the first step, and the next one appears. Take massive action, and momentum builds. It's messy, it's imperfect, but it's progress. And progress equals happiness. If you want to change your body, don't read 10 more books. Go move. If you want to start a business, stop overanalyzing and make that first call. Build that first product. Launch even if it's rough. Perfection is the enemy of execution. The greatest achievers in history weren't the smartest or the most prepared. They were the boldest. They acted before they were ready. Massive action builds feedback, and feedback is fuel for growth. When you act, you learn, you adjust, you adapt. And over time, those relentless actions compound into breakthroughs. You'll never outthink fear, but you can outrun it by moving faster than it can paralyze you. Massive action doesn't guarantee instant success, but no action guarantees failure. The person who executes consistently, even imperfectly, always beats the genius stuck in analysis. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Most people confuse discipline with punishment, but it's actually the highest form of self-love. Discipline means you do what needs to be done whether you feel like it or not. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes, but discipline creates consistency, and consistency compounds into mastery. Think about it. Every great performer, athlete, or entrepreneur you admire didn't get there because they were motivated every morning. They got there because discipline became their default. Discipline is a muscle, and like any muscle, the more you use it, the stronger it gets. Every time you follow through on a commitment when it's inconvenient, you reinforce an identity that says, I am unstoppable. Every time you delay short-term pleasure for long-term fulfillment, you build trust with yourself. And that self-trust is the foundation of confidence. Without discipline, dreams stay in your head. With discipline, dreams become reality. The small daily actions others ignore, the rituals no one applauds, the decisions no one sees, those are what define your future. Discipline is freedom, because once you master yourself, no obstacle can master you. Energy is everything. Your energy determines how you show up, how you connect, how you execute, and how you influence the people around you. If you're drained, if your physiology is weak, if you're constantly exhausted, then no matter how big your vision is, you'll never sustain the action to achieve it. Energy isn't optional. It's the ultimate resource. And it's not just physical, it's emotional, mental, and spiritual energy. You've got to prime your body because motion creates emotion. You've got to manage your state daily because your state drives your story and your story drives your actions. High energy multiplies productivity. Low energy magnifies problems. When you're in peak state, challenges feel like opportunities. When you're exhausted, the smallest issue feels overwhelming. You must master the art of generating energy through nutrition, movement, focus, recovery, and meaning. Because when you live with passion, when you live with vitality, you naturally inspire others. Your energy is contagious, and the people around you either catch your power or your weakness. Protect it, cultivate it, and unleash it, because the world doesn't need more people running on empty. It needs leaders radiating energy that lifts everyone higher. Growth only happens when you step outside the comfortable, predictable, familiar spaces you've built around yourself. Comfort feels safe, but it's a cage, and every day you stay inside that cage, your potential suffocates. The human spirit is designed for expansion. Progress equals happiness. You can't grow if you're only doing what you already know. Growth comes when you stretch, when you lean into uncertainty, when you face fear head on and say, I'm bigger than this. Fear is not a stop sign. It's a signal that you're on the edge of transformation. Every breakthrough is born from discomfort. When you risk failing, when you risk rejection, you actually step into the arena where life changes. Playing it safe is the riskiest choice because the cost of comfort is regret. Push past the edge. Put yourself in rooms where you feel unqualified. Take the shot that scares you, because if you're not growing, you're dying. And when you commit to growth, even the setbacks become fuel, because the struggle is what forges resilience, courage, and power. Action is the ultimate cure to fear, doubt, and procrastination. Most people wait for the perfect plan, the perfect time, the perfect conditions, but perfection is the enemy of progress. You don't need perfect clarity to move forward. You need momentum. Clarity comes from action, not thinking. The moment you take a step, you create feedback, you learn, you adjust, and that cycle compounds into results. Waiting kills dreams. Action builds them. The universe responds to bold moves, not hesitation. When you act, you ignite energy. You attract opportunities. You build confidence. Confidence doesn't come first. As action comes first. You act, you fall, you rise. And through that process, belief is born. Every great achievement is just a series of small, consistent actions compounded over time. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is that successful people don't wait until they feel ready. They act in spite of fear. They understand that imperfect action beats perfect inaction every single time. So move even when you're uncertain. Move even when you're afraid. Because the cost of hesitation is your future, and the reward of action is the life you've always wanted. Resilience is not about avoiding pain. It's about building the muscle to rise every time life knocks you down. Every setback carries within it the seed of an equal or greater comeback. The people who thrive aren't the ones who never fall. They're the ones who refuse to stay down. Life will test you. It will strip you of what's comfortable. It will challenge everything you thought you knew. But in those moments, you're being forged, you're being shaped into someone who can handle the next level of your destiny. Pain is life's way of chiseling away at the weak parts of you so the strongest version can emerge. Resilience isn't a gift, it's a choice. You decide whether the obstacle becomes the excuse or the reason you rise. Every time you bounce back, you anchor belief, you expand your capacity, and you step closer to mastery. The world doesn't remember those who quit when it was hard. It remembers the ones who kept standing, who turned their scars into stories of strength. You're stronger than the circumstances. And the moment you decide to keep moving forward, no matter what, life bends to that decision. But resilience without purpose is just endurance. And that's why you must connect everything you do to your why. Purpose is the fuel that keeps you alive when motivation fades. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like a spark. Purpose is the fire that never dies. When your vision is tied to something greater than yourself, the grind doesn't feel like punishment. It feels like privilege. People quit because they forget why they started. When you anchor to a purpose that matters, your family, your legacy, your mission, you'll crawl if you have to, but you won't stop. Purpose gives pain meaning. Purpose transforms obstacles into stepping stones. It makes sacrifice worth it. Without it, success feels empty. With it, even failure becomes valuable because it's part of the path. Every action, every choice, every ounce of effort must be aligned with that deeper why. When you live on purpose, you don't just survive challenges, you thrive through them because you know you're fighting for something bigger. And that's the unstoppable force, resilience powered by purpose. Success without gratitude is the fastest road to emptiness. You can achieve the money, the recognition, the lifestyle, but if you don't train your heart to appreciate what you already have, you'll always feel like something's missing. Gratitude is the ultimate reset button. It shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant. When you live in a state of appreciation, you stop chasing happiness and start experiencing it. Every breath, every opportunity, every relationship becomes a gift. Gratitude doesn't make you passive, it makes you powerful because it aligns your energy with possibility. When you wake up and thank life for another chance to grow, your brain sees opportunities where others see obstacles. Gratitude rewires you for resilience because no matter how tough it gets, you can still find a reason to keep going. And when you bring gratitude into your relationships, into your work, into your daily actions, you become magnetic. People want to connect, want to support, want to grow with you. The most fulfilled achievers are not the ones with the most trophies, but the ones who remain grounded, thankful, and hungry to serve. But gratitude alone is not enough. You must also commit to contribution. The secret to living is giving. Contribution is what transforms a good life into a great one. When you stop asking, what can I get?